Is this thing on? Is this thing on? You better believe it's on. You know what it is. It's the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with another week. We coming to you. We coming to you. We coming to you. What's up? What's up? What is up? Another Friday, another riveting show, another opportunity to bring you some sports, business, entertainment. The only way we know how. Rough, rugged, and raw. Today's episode is entitled No Safe Bets. And you know, every single week when we come up with our titles, there's a little complexity to it, but no safe bets. In sports, there's sort of this cliche, no safe bets. Don't take anything for granted, or tomorrow is not guaranteed. It's not promised. There's the cliche aspect to sports, but then there's also in sports, beyond cliche, evidence of it. Even Lionel Messi. You thought he was getting all of that money? Well, not so fast, my friend. In business this week, we thought that the jobs report was going to be terrible. Not so fast. And in entertainment, Dipset walked into Madison Square Garden with all the bravado, all of the hype, and got embarrassed by the locks, specifically Jadakiss. So no safe bets we're going to get into this week. Stay tuned. We're going to have a great show. You know how it is. It's your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hawk, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration, coming to you with the crew. And countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Wake up, wake up, wake up, and stay woke. Because this is the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hawk, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go, 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 go. What's up, what's up, what's up? You know what it is. It's the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hawk, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration in the building with, first of all, the Big Flow Show.
What's good, America?
And last but certainly not least, ETP Ellis, the producers in the building. What's up, E?
Chilling, baby. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man. As y'all can see, I wore my old school polo.
You're looking real collegiate today.
You know why, man? The college dropout himself, Donda, got everybody hyped. How you sell out an arena and don't even drop an album? That's how you know it's 2021. How does that make sense? Yet he keeps selling out the arena. He's sleeping in the arena.
You gotta pay the rent. You gotta pay the rent.
Paying the rent. He got me hyped, baby. The college boy look. Do we think the Donda? I know today's episode, the title is No Safe Bet. But it is a safe bet that this album is going to be the best of all of Kanye's albums, and he's going to drop a mega classic that we all are. I gotta see it now. You rent out a stadium to sleep there. You got two, not one, but two listening tours and selling out an entire arena for a listening tour. I know I gotta buy the album. Is this the one? Is this the Donda album? Is this the Kanye album of all albums? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Everything Chicago, and you're not gonna ride for Kanye?
I can't ride with Kanye, man.
You pick and choose, man. You pick and choose.
That's how I'm a true Chicago
runner, man.
Maybe
you're a front runner. That's supposed to be your guy. Chicago to the death.
What's worse? Listen, Kanye West is crazy, but he is definitely a marketing genius. This dude is coming out here, sleeping in there, doing concerts with no microphone, listening to parties. What y'all think of this album? He knows he's gonna make some money and do whatever. I'm surprised. Is he gonna release it on the normal channels, or is he gonna sell it on the Kanye channel or something?
At this point, I think he's gonna try to release it on Pluto, and somehow it then comes to Earth. Anything normal is not within Kanye's purview. ETP, what do you think? Is this the album of all albums? I know it's supposed to be no safe bets, but I'm thinking this is a safe bet, man. This gonna be the man is sleeping in an arena. You talk about commitment.
Committed to excellence.
Practice. Yeah, talking about practice. He in there.
I think this is gonna be one that kind of brings him back to legendary status, because he went to gospel and he was working in that realm. And I think he's kind of bringing the two worlds together. And the amount of features he's got, he's back with Jay. They're talking about Watch the Throne 2 before the end of the year. So I think he's found his groove again. We'll see.
He got away from
Kanye got his groove back.
Once you get away from them Kardashians, you get your life back.
Yeah, he got rid of the curse.
He's out the sunken place, man.
He's out of there. He did release all the features, and I was impressed by the lineup of features. I know Kanye, especially when it came to campaign season, went down a really dark hole when it came to the Black community. But we some forgiving people. We got a short memory because he's selling out arenas for a listening party. And oh, by the way, I look, man, I want to see it, man. I got on the college polo, baby. Kanye, yo, don't. I know the title is No Safe Bets, but I think Kanye dropping the album of all albums is the safest bet in 2021. I'm waiting on Donda, and if you were just marketing and not putting together some real flow and some real vibes, I'm gonna be mad at you, Kanye. But we did get a show this week in Versus. And we got to hop into sports quick, but who am I? I'd be remiss because even LeBron weighed in and I think he called Jada Kiss what did he call him? He called him the
most underrated
MC ever. Like that's Jada Kiss has become the MVP of all verses based on what he did in Madison Square Garden. Dipset did all of that hyping, man. They were selling wolf tickets, and they walked in and took a whooping. I don't know anybody alive, including Dipset family members, that say that Dipset held their own or even competed. Jada Kiss annihilated verbally.
Mama didn't even cheer for him?
Mama didn't even cheer for him, man. You know it's bad when Mama get up and like, man, come on here, boy. Take your butt home. Dipset, man.
I was people.
I think she was at the merch. She was at the merch booth buying some locks gear at the end.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I thought Dipset. I was like, oh, Dipset about to come with it. I forgot how many good songs Locks had, man. So I publicly apologize to Jada Kiss personally and publicly because that man, bro, he held it down, man. That's what a performance is supposed to look like. And that's the best performance in Madison Square Garden since Jordan dropped the 55. That's the rumor has it. That's saying something, you sorry Knicks. But shout out to the Locks. Shout out to Jada Kiss. Shout out to hip hop because hip hop won. And shout out to them brothers that had the wherewithal during COVID to come up with the concept of verses, right? Because I mean, I know Apple bought it, but I'm sure they're still getting their pockets lined. I don't know if anyone you wanted to weigh in before we hopped into this U.S. Olympics, but I thought it was a great versus. What did you guys think?
No, I thought it was great. It was, it's to the aspiring athletes. It just shows preparation beats talent, right?
You can't just walk in there.
You can't just walk in there. They got destroyed just because they thought they were going to walk in and walk out with a belt, and it didn't happen. The other thing that's crazy about it is they're going on tour together. So it's like when
for us now.
It's like now who's opening for who, and it's just they definitely got to deal with that while they're on the road together. It's similar to when the Bucks the Bucks beat the Suns, and then Devin Booker and Drew Holiday and who was the other Chris Middleton had to take the private jet to Tokyo together. It's just not going to be a fun. It's not going to be a fun road trip together.
Nah, man. Shout out to Jada Kiss, man. I know you non-New Yorkers, you Chicagoans don't understand what hip hop is, but we got to see it right there in Madison Square Garden.
Florida, now.
I am from Florida. Yeah. We should have had Trick Daddy. You got look. If they can hype that up, I get Trick Daddy and JT Money. Look, we could do Florida Jam Pony Express DJ. I don't know nothing about that, man. I had that thing hype up in there, baby. Lauderdale's finest. You better believe it. That's real hip hop. Let's hop into some sports, man, because the U.S. Olympics. The U.S. Olympics is taking center stage. We got about 2 more days of the Olympics. And I said, really, the Olympics don't start till track start. And track has started. But before we can get into track, we got to get into this whole dipped in bronze, baby. Because Simone Biles, after our eventful conversation about her last week. Simone Biles decided to hop into one of the events, the balance beam. Controversial to say the least. Some celebrated it. Others were like, yo, man, like, why you gotta be the diva of all the stories? But to her credit, she walked away with an Olympic medal, the bronze in the balance beam, which is probably is high of a medal as we thought that she would get in that event, because the two Chinese performers are better in that particular event. She's tied for the most medals of any American gymnast ever, all times. But last week's episode with an asterisk, or was that 2 weeks? I don't even remember now, man. We had a previous episode about with an asterisk. Does her legacy come with an asterisk? Does this accomplishment, the most medals of any American gymnast of all time, come with an asterisk? Because there was a lot of back and forth conversation when it comes to Simone Biles. Let's have it out here. You know how we do it on the Ball Hog Sports Talk. It's rough, rugged, and raw. We ain't gonna pull no punches. We ain't gonna hold back. Let's go, man. Simone Biles gets a bronze medal. Should we be celebrating it? Or is this just another example of, in this generation, athletes are different? I'll start with you on the ETP.
I don't think it's an asterisk. I think she had an injury and she came back and she performed. And look, a bronze medal is a medal.
You said injury and Big Flo gave you the run face. The Big Flo show gave you the run face. But okay, I'm sorry. I digress. You said she had an injury. She bounced back and
she won a medal. I mean, she's third best in the world at whatever she's doing. That's respectable. I mean, and she came back. Like, if the idea was that she choked and she wasn't willing to, be on the big stage, she came back and she performed. It's not her strongest event. She won a medal while also reducing the difficulty of her, of her performance so that she could maintain her safety. She still came in third. Like, she's a beast. And I think that it's an injury more than her backing out. Like I was saying last week, I don't think it's focused on, her having a mental health day, but more a functional issue that she couldn't perform.
I just had to go back to that comment because the recognition of the musical genius that is Florida, Trick Daddy versus Luke. Respect to this young man. I appreciate you, Ken Sharp. We don't get a lot of mentions in music, but Florida is where they start.
Master P, but that's just me.
Master P. Nah, he from New Orleans, man. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, Luke versus Master P. They're similar type people. We digress.
We gonna figure it out.
I think my opinion on Simone Biles is, I'm glad she came back. I have a hard time believing she got the twisties, or what do you call it? The twister. What do you call that thing? Whatever she
twisties.
Got. The twisties.
The twisties, man. You trying to reduce it, man. Stop playing.
She
know what
she
it's
got
called.
The twisties. I didn't make the twisties. I didn't hear the twisties.
What that thing called. We know what you're doing. Stop playing, man. You know what it's called. It's called the twisties.
She had the twisties and stuff. But how you do the flip off the thing if you got the twisties? So I don't know. I'm happy she came back. I do think that her career is not over. She's 24 years old. So that one lady.
Oh, her career is over.
No, the lady was doing the vault since she was 47 years old. What's the lady from Russia that did the vault? She's 47.
Man, that's not in America. That's her career is over. She was considered senior citizen at 24.
She's doing one more.
She's not coming back at 27.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, she's gonna do one more.
I think she'll be back.
She's not gonna finish like this. She's gonna come back. She's gonna be cured. She's gonna be the oldest Olympiad. She's gonna win all the golds next time, and then her story will be over. But for this one, this is the. When her story is written, when you talk about 2021, you're gonna go COVID. Simone Biles, maybe if they did it last year, she was ready to peak last year and she couldn't hold on. But we'll see what happens. I'm glad she didn't get hurt. Glad she came back. She did a little something. She's going to be inspiration to somebody's story, which is good and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know.
Would you say the same thing if she had competed with this ailment, got injured, and then came back and won a bronze? Would you have this, like, if she actually injured herself physically
and came back?
Would you be saying it's an asterisk?
Injured. Hold on now.
I said she had an injury because
yes, I was about to say now you're talking about if she actually
if she physically twisted, sprained her ankle, or her neck or her shoulder or anything, if she had gone forward and actually continued and put herself at risk and physically injured herself and then came back and won the bronze, would you say, oh, she gets an asterisk because she wasn't able to perform even though she came back and got a bronze? Like, how different would that be perceived?
That's a very fair question. I think I didn't want to see her get hurt, but if she would have put herself out there and just like kept falling and looked terrible and everything, and then she would have came back and fought for the bronze, that would have been sweeter for me. I just feel like she had, one really bad vault, maybe two. One she stepped out, the other one she landed hard, and I feel like she didn't want to put herself out there to fail. That's the way it felt to me. But I don't know. I can't do a cartwheel, so I can't tell you about these twisties, man. I can't tell you nothing about them. So
man,
let me stop.
We watching a whole bunch of events in the Olympics that we can't do.
But there was a
I'm not qualifying that. No, I'm not. Listen, you called it an injury, Ellis. So to me, it's like, are we calling this? Is this like the Jordan flu game? Are we celebrating it that she was able to overcome something that most people would succumb to, or not? Because she's in the GOAT conversation. And we said this last week, is that's going to come with scrutiny. It's going to come with it's going to come with all the vigor which sports enthusiasts have when we are analyzing our GOATs. Right. Is this the Jordan game moment for her that she came back from the twisties? And I struggle with that because I've never been through it. Right. So granted, I've been through the flu. I haven't been through the twisties. But
did you drop 55 with the flu?
Man, I dropped 55 with a pulled hamstring one time. I was asleep dreaming, but I dropped it, baby. It don't matter.
55-pound weight in the weight room.
Drop 55 on them,
the
boy.
body perceives, the body can achieve.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So, but no, I don't think it's not a Jordan flu game, but I do think it is something that she maintained. I mean, the scrutiny and obviously the challenge of not being able to perform at the level that she is used to performing, and then coming back and medaling, I think that's to win a medal is to be celebrated. Period.
It is.
Right? She did show how sweet she is, though. Like she's like I haven't done this amount like that since I was 12.
Right. I did this pre-K business and still won a medal.
She still took a step.
She is sweet. But we knew that going in.
Nobody argues that. She's the
we knew that going in
all times by far.
We knew that going in. And I guess my question is, and I stand corrected because what I said initially was this potentially could hurt her pockets because she was going to come out of this unquestionably the best gymnast ever in terms of medal count.
Right.
Everyone knew it. It was already right. And so today's episode, the title, No Safe Bets, that was the safest bet going into the Olympics. That Simone Biles was going to go get at least 3 medals, probably win the all-around.
At least 3.
At least 3. And unquestionably put herself on the top of the pedestal in the center of Mount Rushmore when it comes to all Olympic athletes. That was the safest bet for this U.S. Olympics, and that didn't happen.
Right.
And I said because of that, because of the twisties, what Ellis is calling the injury, because of that,
real dismissive of this.
I'm not being dismissive.
I'm just quoting you. He's just giving you full credit.
I'm just quoting you, man. That's it. I'm citing source. That's all I'm doing.
That's all she's doing.
That's all I'm doing. But because of that, I said this was going to hurt her pockets. I was wrong. Where sports business and entertainment collide right here at the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, I got to admit, I was wrong. This is not only going to have a better impact, it's going to be a catalyst. It's going to boost her. I said that she was going to be the face of mental health when it comes to sports. But not only is she now the face of mental health, when she comes back to these U.S. shores, she's going to be celebrated, embraced as a person who is the epitome of overcoming a challenge and fighting through it, and that's going to be the story. But I don't think that that's sitting very well with a lot of sports enthusiasts, and I don't know where I sit on it because again, I've never been through the twisties, but I'm challenged with thinking that this is her Jordan flu game moment because it doesn't seem as though it should be.
It's not. But it's also, I mean, I guess my issue is the face of mental health. Like there's something different from battling emotional challenges and having a motor skills malfunction. right? Like these are two very different things that we're putting in the same category where, you know, in terms of the marketability and her being the face of mental health, like that's where I kind of have a challenge with that, or I have an issue with it.
You find it funny,
made
though,
that
how
connection.
how quickly they whipped up commercials, though. Nike has some commercials about it. I've seen like commercials that they just went to the lab real quick and hooked up. Oh, let's throw some mental health behind this. It's like how did were y'all ready for this? Are we already?
Well, they probably had things in hopper considering just how mental health has changed.
Yeah,
and our appreciation for acknowledging it as, you know, in certain situations, a real sickness, a real thing that needs to be diagnosed, addressed, and similar to a broken collarbone, right? So maybe they've been working on that, but the urgency in which they put it out there, I think, had something to do with Simone Biles. And Ellis, I know you're saying that, you know, you have an issue sort of with connecting the two, but I think we're doing it because Simone Biles is the one who qualified this and categorized it as a mental health issue, right?
For sure. Absolutely.
She went back and forth, though, I feel like she doesn't know where to put it, you know? She doesn't know if she wants to call it mental health or if she wants to call it some sort of a just cognitive situation, whatever. But anyway, then a shout out to Simone. I want you to be great. You are the GOAT. You just had a bad outing, right? So that doesn't take away from what you did before, and I think you're gonna be back. I don't want you to end like this, Simone.
How about Djokovic, who responded to a question? To be clear, he responded to a question about the pressure, because she talked about the pressure and how that might have led to the twisties, her being Simone Biles. Djokovic answered a question about that specific question from a reporter. And let's just say that his answer didn't age well, because he, is it safe to say, freaked out? He flipped out, like literally flipped out. Had a tantrum that was, I think, worse than anything we've ever seen. Worse than McEnroe, worse than Serena. He freaked out.
So and you want to give his quote, though? Exactly. I'm just saying how bad his quote was. Said, pressure is a privilege, my friend. Without pressure, there'd be no professional sport. If you're aiming to be the top of the game, you better start learning how to deal with pressure and how to cope with those moments. So he dogged her, whether he was asked a question or not.
But the my friend part was directly to, here's what I like to be fair. The my friend part was directly to the reporter who asked. It wasn't like, when you read it out of context, it sounds like my friend is speaking directly to Simone Biles. Pressure is a privilege, my friend. He was not doing that. Just to be fair, he was answering a question. But having said that, he knew why the question was being asked. Right. He knew why the question was being asked.
Yeah. All I know is he went real tough, right? I think a lot of people, most athletes that are in the game, have supported her. I actually haven't heard of an athlete that dogged her. Just fat people like me that, I wouldn't even say I dogged her. I just got a couple questions. But most of the athletes in the game I see have been very supportive of her, because they're like, man, tell me about this pressure. He killed her. And then let's let you go back to his meltdown.
Yeah, the pressure, let's just say it got to him, and pressure bust pipes, but it bust a nerve for him. He freaked out on not a national stage, an international stage. And does it just go to show maybe we do put too much pressure on these athletes? That's really the gist of our conversation last week, is that instead of us addressing the toxic masculinity, maybe we should be embracing how more thoughtful, empathetic and sympathetic people have responded to Simone Biles. Maybe we need to be embracing that in sports. And is Djokovic the quintessential example of it, because he talked about how pressure is a privilege and yada, yada, yada. And yet and still, boof, he exploded for the whole world to see.
Yeah, I think the problem is he set himself up. He set himself up, right? He condemned or dismissed the issue of mental health and how much pressure athletes are under. And then he succumbed to that pressure, blamed it on injury, didn't play in the doubles match, bailed on his teammate. So he did everything that Simone Biles was getting condemned for, that she didn't do. He actually did.
Right.
And he's not getting dragged for
Bailed.
it. And that's the piece.
One meme. I saw one meme. He's not getting dragged. Now, when he bailed on that doubles match, is there somebody who could step up in his place and take it? Or did that?
It ain't him. It ain't the best in the world. Step whoever it is.
So with Simone,
it's Plan Z compared
to
to
least
him.
we had somebody stepped up and she got
alternates.
She got a medal. You know, she wasn't thinking she was going to medal. A lot of people got opportunities. So there's a silver lining to what happened with Simone, right? We still won the silver as a team, so we were still sweet. When he backed out, his female partner,
they forfeit.
Yeah, they forfeit.
He's worse. He's worse. There's nothing wrong with him.
It is a double standard.
Unless he hurt himself beating up that racket.
Yeah, he beat it up. Hypocrisy was on full display when it comes to how we handled the two. And we were aggressive in how we addressed the Simone Biles situation, at least here on the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. We're going to be just as aggressive as how we address Djokovic. Djokovic, you played yourself, man. You out there beating up on the racket, having a temper tantrum, about to pee on yourself because you're not getting what you thought you were going to get out of the situation. And yet you're supposed to be the best in the world. Yet on the heels of you making a statement about pressure is a privilege, my friend. Well, listen, pressure is a privilege. That pressure made you almost pee on yourself. So the truth of the matter is that pressure, while it is a privilege, right? You said Master P, now we got all these P's. Pressure, while it is a privilege, is still pressure. Pressure, while it is a privilege, still has the capability, because we are human, of driving you to a place that you never thought you would go. And Simone Biles, I think, is the first example of it, and her being the best ever in gymnastics. Yet, even Simone Biles had to succumb to that moment of the twisties because of that pressure. And here it is, Djokovic, only a few days later, stanking like some spoiled milk out there. I mean, that thing was stanking, boy. That the irony in that was just, it was on full display. But now, as sports fans, as podcasters, as studio analysts, we got to give him the same smoke that he gave her. And we got to give him the same smoke we gave Simone Biles. Or else it's our fault that these double standards keep happening.
Now, he needs it worse because he brought it upon himself. He's basically saying, I'm above this level of vulnerability. I have mastered the ability to zone out and focus on my craft and not let all of these other obligations and pressures get to me. And then what happens exactly at that moment, he folds. So if he didn't say that he was capable of this, then maybe there'd be a little bit more, I guess, consideration for it. But he said he is impervious.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly which injury.
Because my thing is like, okay, with Simone, I do have to give her this. Whether it was, no matter what the issue is, if you don't feel like you're on your A game, it's scary to jump up, do some flips, twists, and all that stuff. You can land on your neck. There's the danger level in tennis is zero, right? Unless he blew his Achilles or he did something else, he could have tried to play that double.
Right.
Shoulder. It was his shoulder.
He's fine.
Yeah.
That's for hitting that racket. His shoulder didn't look in pain when he was beating that racket's head in.
Nah, right. It wasn't
That's
hurt
probably
that
when he
bad.
hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
You over there fighting that racket over there, man. Get on out of here, man. You know, I coach 8 and 9-year-old kids that have more maturity than we saw with this super great tennis player on display in that moment. All right, look, I'm a big track fan, and I went out on a limb and said the Olympics really don't start until track starts. But I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed, man, at the U.S. and our track team right now. There's been some highlights, and we're gonna get to those. But in the women's 100 meter, we talk about Sha'Carri Richardson not making it because she smoked on a little bit of them trees. And Jamaica went 1, 2, and 3. They took all the medals, all of them. Let me get all of them. Bronze, silver, and gold. And oh, by the way, I'm a break FloJo's record in the meantime. So there's a lot of Jamaica uproar. Sha'Carri Richardson getting a little bit of heat because, you know, I think she tweeted something like, "You missed me yet." She tried to be a sportsman-like person be a good sport, and congratulate the women. But the Jamaican track family, that world, they not letting her have. They dragging her, saying you wouldn't have had a chance. I thought that was going to be the story of all story, but then something else happens in track, and these high jumpers, one from Qatar and one from Italy, they decide to share a gold medal. For those of you who don't know, I'll give you the quick backdrop. There were two high jumpers competing for their nations. They had the same height. They cleared the same height with the same number of misses. So in track, when it comes to a sport like that, they start looking at the number of misses. They had the same number of misses, 0, until they both had the same number of misses on the next height, which was 3 misses. So what it normally goes to is some sort of a jump off to break the tie. There's an option in there now. Let's call it the 2021 everybody gets a trophy option that allows both people to get gold. So now there's 2 gold medals and then a bronze winner. This where we come to? This is where we are in sports, that you could decide, nah, we ain't gonna have no jump off. In the same sports world that we have PKs and sudden death tiebreakers in tennis. In these high pressure situations, I told you I hate PKs, but at least you decide the winner. In this same sports world, these 2 Olympians now, decided they're gonna share a gold medal. And I already had an issue with it, but then they we trained together, we best friends, and it irked me, man. It irked me beyond irking. What did y'all think about? Would you ever share a medal with somebody? I don't care how much I like you. I ain't sharing that with you. Somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose. We're gonna talk about this years later about how I beat you, even if it was on a technicality. Go ahead, Reg. Big Flo.
Look here, man. He went with both of those gentlemen flew to Tokyo with 1 goal to win the gold medal, and they both achieved it. Now, when we play poker and we get to the pot, I want to. After one dude goes out in poker, I ask the rest of the people if they want to split the pot. We'll just split up his money. I'm good with that. I'm trying to come up and be up. You have a gold medal. It's not like they both had to take the silver because they did it. They both got the gold medal. So he still has a whole gold medal at the house.
I'm disappointed.
So why would you? Huh? No.
I'm
why
so
would
disappointed.
You give yourself a chance to not get the gold medal when you've already achieved the gold medal?
So you're the guy in fantasy football when it's the last 2 left. You're like, all right, man. Instead, let's just split man, I can't stand your type, man. Oh man, do not call me talking about let's split the pot. Nah, bro, somebody gonna win.
No doubt. Chop.
You're that guy.
So think about it. I want to chop, and I'm giving up money to do it. He gave up nothing. He got a gold medal. So you're telling me I have a gold medal right now. It's right here, like this. I look like Flavor Flav with a gold medal, right? Sitting across my chest. And you're telling me that I can put it up and maybe not get it, but there's nothing better I can achieve. So I already got the best thing I could possibly get.
You can get something better. You could get the only gold medal as opposed to a shared gold medal.
When you see a gold medal at my house, I'm gonna say, did you ever tie with? Oh, you want the gold? Yeah, they're not even gonna ask you.
That gets the biggest asterisk ever. When we go to Wikipedia and we're looking at all the gold medal winners, they're gonna have 2 people in there. They're gonna be fighting for space. Come on, man. Come on, Big Flo.
He can still say I'm the best in the whole world. I'm the best in the world.
No, he could say I'm one of the 2 best in the world.
I am the best in the world, and you can also say I'm the best in the world. Everybody else can't jump as high as me.
I'm disappointed.
Don't be disappointed. There's nothing to gain by doing it. You can't get better than a gold. Well, they're gonna get
money didn't change you, man. When you was hungry, trying to get that scholarship, you wasn't gonna share it was one offer, only one offer for the defensive lineman.
You committed to Notre Dame and they gave another receiver a thing. Did you say I'm not going no more?
But he didn't take my scholarship.
He did. You still got one. You have a whole scholarship, right? He has a whole gold medal. It's not like they gave him half the gold. He has a whole gold medal. Nah, that's fantastic.
Money done changed you, man. You went and got all that job and the education. Money done changed you.
Why would I put the gold at risk? If they offered him a platinum,
isn't that the definition of sports? I want to put the gold at risk, and then when I get the gold medal, I'm gonna smack it. Especially if you my friend, I'm gonna smack you on your head with it. Like, hey, remember this?
Until he beat you, until you hear that stick fall, you like.
Hey, look! If I get hit upside the head with the gold medal, It's all good. I can sleep better with my silver medal. ETP, break the tie, man. What do you think? Come on, man.
Big Flo sounding real Gen Z right now. Everybody gets a trophy.
Straight up suburban.
Not everybody, just me and him. Not everybody, just me and him.
That's
Straight
a
from
private
the
school.
suburbs.
That's a private school opinion.
Hey, just me and
everybody wins. Everybody gets a participation.
Anybody who got something to say, let's do a jump off. I'll do a jump off too.
I have two questions. One, why do they get to decide that they're just going to share the medal? Like, who empowers them to say, you know what, we're going to decide who wins this medal? And then
he asked the official on the spot. The official should have slapped him. He should slap.
He should be like, just for asking that question, you disqualified.
But you know the funny thing, did you see how happy the other dude was? He was like,
oh, man. It was.
You gonna split it with me? I'll take it.
I threw up. I threw up.
Man.
I literally
that's
was
like that's like at the coin toss.
You know why y'all
the coin toss of the Super Bowl?
Like indecent proposal. Y'all saying it because neither one of y'all gonna ever be up there for the goal. So you can say all you want, but if you sit on that stage and they put one of these right there on your chest and you say you can put it up for nothing, why? Why would I risk it?
I just don't understand how they get that. They have the authority to make that decision. That's like going to the coin toss for overtime in the Super Bowl and just being like, you know what? Why don't I keep the Lombardi Trophy this week and then you can have it next week?
I don't look at it the same.
We could both go to Disney World.
It's kind of like both of us.
It's boring at the top anyway. Lonely at the top, man.
At some point in the barbershops, somebody gonna be Debo. It's kind of like both of ours. Now somebody gonna be like, I'll beat you. If we'd have did it, I'd have beat. And why leave it to chance? Why let Debo come take his bite? I'd rather just do the jump off, and it's not gonna be kind of like both of ours. It's gonna be one gold medal, and something tells me they only got one gold medal for the men's high jump. So somebody gonna get a replica. You're like, you ain't even got real gold, dog. You got the replica.
Funny you say that. Do they make a certain amount of gold medals, or do they make like a couple of extras just in case?
Some's got. Maybe they making extras now that they got this silly little rule. I can't believe this. This is the worst thing in all of sports, and people are celebrating. This is the example of sportsmanship. No, this is an example that everybody gets a trophy.
I'm not saying that.
Everybody should get that gold medal.
I'm saying hell no. I'm not risking it for nothing. I got the gold.
Big Flo, man, you done changed. I can't even believe you, man.
Everybody gets bronze medals. Everybody
gets bronze. Right. We should just show up. Everybody get bronze. They made it here.
I don't know if it's boxing or if it's wrestling, but they don't do it. I think it's wrestling. They don't do a third pay bronze medal. If you lose the semifinal, you just get the bronze. Did you see that? That was kind of soft.
Oh, you think? Wait
a minute. You think that's soft? You don't think sharing a gold medal? Y'all, they own it.
You know what? You're right. And it's totally crazy, but I do feel like you feel like I'm
glad you see it's totally crazy.
Awareness, at least you're aware.
I'm aware, but you know, I honestly feel like I could not put my gold at risk if they gave me the choice. Now I'm with E. It shouldn't be his choice. But if somebody tells you right now, you have a gold medal, do you want to put that at risk? There's nothing better than the gold, but do you want to risk the gold medal? Hell nah, give me my gold. But
man, that's what sports is all about. Yes, I want to risk it. Because the other side of it is when I beat you.
I'm a gold medalist, man.
As an athlete, I'm thinking, when I beat you, I'm going to be at the top of the podium by myself, and they're going to play my national anthem. What, they play a remix? I didn't see the ceremony. Like, what they had half and half? You only get the remix.
Utah doesn't have a national anthem. So they just got a beatboxer. And then the other dude was from Italy. I don't care who you play. I got the gold. But I do think it's stupid. It was his choice. But for wrestling, it's like you just give them both the silver or the bronze. You don't have them wrestle for it. But again, as a rule guy, I would have never allowed them to just choose that. They would have had to do a jump off. But if you ask me, and I'm sitting here and I have the gold, do I want to put that gold at risk? And I have it right now. Why? I'm not giving.
Man, I would have been better off with them being on the award stand at the top of the podium. Playing paper, rock, scissors for it.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling for it. Something. But y'all better just share it.
Race in the 100.
Yeah, race in the 100. Do something outside the norm.
You should have got to penalty kicks. That would have been sweet.
Penalty kicks. I don't care what you do.
This is the one time I fully support penalty kicks.
Penalty kicks, right? I know y'all don't play no soccer, so it's equal. Right?
That would have been the best thing I've ever seen.
Do a floor routine. You got to do the Simone Biles floor routine. Something, but y'all ain't finna be at the top of this podium splitting the song. All right, we're going to get 30 seconds to guitar and then flip it 30 seconds. You're going to play the Italian. Nah, man, that ain't sports.
You can't give me the choice, though. I'm not. I can't have the thing in my hand, all the gold, not half the bag. I can't have the whole gold medal in my hand, and you tell me to put it at risk. Why? I'll take half. But I agree, it should never have come to that.
Man, you get the replica, man. With that whole philosophy, you get the replica. But on the other side of the track, we gotta celebrate. we gotta celebrate. Also dipped in bronze is Allison Felix, and she is now tied with Carl Lewis for most Olympic medals. She's got the most for American women, but tied across both genders for most Olympic medals. Shout out to Allison Felix, man. Right out, she got the baby. She posts a lot of stuff on Instagram. This is my why. She runs the 400. I've always loved watching her run. I got to see her run at the Milrose game in person, and she's a very, very, very classy woman. This is her last Olympics. There's no way she could run 4 years from now. She had to wait an additional year.
3 years.
3 years from now. She had to wait an additional year in order to run. So shout out to Allison Felix, man. And then any logical universe, that should be the story of all stories when it comes to track this week. Yet we talking about two high jumpers standing next to each other playing hopscotch on the top of the doggone podium, sharing a doggone gold medal. I can't believe.
Is what we're talking about. The best.
Oh gosh, supposed to be a gold medalist. Supposed to be one singular. There's two of them. How you gonna have them? They ask you a question like,
if you was born twins, would you be mad? You feel like if you had
not the same. Not the same. They look. Put it this way:
you got another dude look just like you.
Man. Look, they're gonna give a speaker fee to the gold medalist from the 2021 men's high jump, and now you gotta share your speaker fee because you shared your gold. Nah, man. They
look. I'm holding down the Middle East. You hold down Italy and them. You know what I'm saying? What nobody don't have the same sponsorships over there.
The other big story in track and field is our 4x1. Men's 4x1. Now, we've been on a downward trajectory. We've been on a downward trajectory for a while when it comes to the 4x1. The 4x1 used to be what we all watched, right? 4x1, 4x4, our U.S. men's team always represented. We're at the point now in this Olympics, the first time ever that we have not had a man win an individual event ever. The only other one is when we didn't participate. What are we seeing in our U.S. men's track? We talk about basketball and the parity, but I think the speed across the world, I saw the 4x1. First of all, China won the heat, right? It was in a preliminary round. China. How does Trump say China? China won our heat. And we look, safe to say, god awful. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and read the words from our most decorated male U.S. track athlete ever, Carl Lewis. And this is a quote. This is not my words. This is not the Ball Hog Sports Talk words. This is Carl Lewis. The passing system is wrong, he quotes. He says, athletes running the wrong legs, and it was clear that there was no leadership. It was a total embarrassment and completely unacceptable for a USA team to look worse than the AAU kids I saw. If that ain't a scathing review of what our 4x1 is, in today's episode, no safe bets, it used to be the safest bet that we was going to have a good 4x1. It used to be that our U.S. men's track team was going to go and dominate in almost every sport, that we would have at least several individual medals. Gold medals. We got medals. We don't have any gold medals. Sorry if I made it too broad. We don't have any gold medals. It used to be. But now, according to Carl Lewis and according to your eyes, what you watched, where are we at? We losing to China? We losing to China in the 4x1, bro.
To be fair, Jamaica lost to China too. But we should supposed to be in the conversation. I think our heat was too strong. These dudes don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know what's going on. We can't. It's not that much difficulty in handling a baton. Is it slippery? Did they put Vaseline on it or something?
Our baton exchange has been bad for a long time, man.
Why? Do we not?
I don't know. Maybe they just don't practice together long enough.
I don't know. Too. I almost said the last dude was slow. He wasn't really that quick. I don't know.
He shouldn't have been on there because he there's at least two other options that should have been. Maybe they would think, oh, it's just the rounds, it's the prelims. We're gonna put him in there, and then, but you got to make it through the rounds. And we look god awful, man. Our 4x1 look. Shout out to everybody that's competing right now in Houston for the AAU Junior Olympics. But for Carl Lewis to say that some kids in the AAU track Junior Olympics look better than the USA men's track team that's in the real Olympics, man, that's saying something about where we are, man.
Would it have been better if they
Rest
just dropped the baton? Would that have been better?
Yeah,
man, it'd have been better
if they better, right? Because you'd be like, all right, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
But when you like finish the race in 5th and actually you're standing on your feet, that's just so bad.
Is there any restriction in terms of substances, like how baseball players with pine tar or something to make sure you hold that grip that baton? Are there any rules against that?
Stick it to the dude's back and let it.
They gotta
wear
do
magnet gloves.
Get it together 4x1. That used to be the pride and joy of the Olympics experience is watching our 4x1. It has now become, hey man, turn the TV off. Here come the 4x1. Don't do it. Kevin Hart had the big skit about, just get the baton around. Let's get the baton around. Because we thought speed-wise, if you get the baton around, we gonna be good. But that's not even the case anymore. I don't know, man. Look, I don't know. And the sad part is,
whose fault is it? The guy handing it or the guy receiving it when it don't go right? The guy handing it is the one who's messing up, right?
Both. It depends on the exchange.
But you got to put it in my hand, right? I'm not looking. Put it in my damn hand. What the hell's wrong with you?
If you take off too early on your mark, if your marks aren't good, if for some reason
off too late, the dude took off a little late probably because he was running up his back and handed some.
That means he took off too late.
We got one.
Or their mark wasn't right. You didn't prepare on the mark. That's what Carl Lewis is saying. The exchanges have been horrible, and he's just saying the wrong people on there. And you saw after the 4x1. The first leg, they put the mic in their face and asked them sort of to respond with the abysmal performance that they just put forth. And the one dude they say if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all.
I did my job.
Did my job.
That's all I can say.
If we could read his mind, what do you think he really wanted to say?
I can't say it.
He's slow bleepity bleeps. Sorry, I told.
He's like the group project, the one that worked the hardest on the group project, and everybody else just
the dudes in the back was just like this.
Yeah, right.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Right, exactly.
They did not want to be there. I never see him cut off. They just felt bad. The interview was like, all right, y'all, just let him go. Like, there's nothing to come from this interview. You guys are fresh off of this beat. You got embarrassed. Go. What? I don't need to interview them. Get out of here.
They should not have interviewed them, but you have to because that was the event. That's the event. We all watch that in the 4x4. Hopefully, we don't act that.
Did they have the
un-American in the 4x4? The 4x4 hasn't happened yet. Hopefully, we don't act that un-American in the 4x4. And our U.S. women's 4x4 is going to be. We've seen, shout out to all the amazing athletes, but especially shout out to the ones from New Jersey out there. You know what I'm saying? Sydney McLaughlin won the 4x4. Yeah, I claim both. I got dual citizenship. I'm Lauderdale to the court, but I live here now. They taking my property tax money, so I got I gotta take some advantage of it. And shout out to a thing Moo who won the 800. So the women's 4x4, we might lap somebody. We got that much star power. We got that much speed. We might lap somebody. But the men's 4x4, y'all getting to the point where our women might be able to beat y'all. Y'all tripping, man. If the 4x1 looks anything, the 4x4 looks anything like the 4x1, man, you got to put your head in embarrassment. The other sort of tough response after the great performance was Norway. Karsten Warholm beat Rai Benjamin in the 400-meter hurdles. They broke the world record.
Both of
them. The Norway star, Karsten Warholm, ran under 46 seconds with hurdles in front of him. And Rai Benjamin, the American who had a great season, man. And this was built to be the race of the entire Olympics, and they delivered, I thought Rai Benjamin had him off that last hurdle. He slowed just a little bit, and Karsten Warholm took off on him. So shout out to both of them. Great season. But Karsten Warholm basically went on an all-out attack on these new shoes. Was saying that basically like he's cheating because he's got a cushion under him. I then went to do some research at Carson Warhol.
Who's cheating?
Nike by these shoes and saying the technology, Ryan Benjamin wearing these shoes helped him.
He shouldn't have been that close.
Shouldn't have been that close.
I won and I'm complaining about second place.
You talk about a sore winner. He was like, man, look, I beat you and you cheated. But do you think the technology is going crazy? Because we've seen a lot of records drop. And I know that the track technology has also been emphasized in the way that they built the track. The athletes have said it feels like it's making you float. But you combine both the track and the shoes. And is that the reason? Do these U.S. Olympics, when it comes to track and field, do they have an asterisk next to them? All the records that have fallen. Flojo's record failed. Like they ran 45, or at least Carson Warholm ran a 45-something second 400-meter hurdle race. There were hurdles in front of him. He still ran faster than 46.
In the regular, what's the record for the 400-meter race regular?
43. I don't know what 43. The South Africans got.
You only lost 2 seconds, and you had to jump over stuff every time.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about the shoes though. So what is it? There's some of those springy shoes.
It's like a cushion like that's going under cushion, the. And look, Carson Warholm has F1 helping him design his shoe. But F1 and the specifics and the detail of what you can do, what's legal, what's not, the tire tread and all of that, the balance, the weight of the car, that's now becoming sort of instrumental in track with this new exchange of whether or not Nike's gone too far with this technology. So do these records have an asterisk next to them? What do you think, ETP?
You know what? I think technology is always going to advance every sport, right? So we just kind of have to accept it. That if the track, the surfaces are changing, the footwear is changing, the training is changing, there's just the nutrition is changing, everything, the science of all of it is changing. So again, like going back to when we've talked about
you saying Big Flo got a chance to get back into the Olympics at some point?
Why me?
Because you said you wasn't gonna be able to flip, and I'm trying to get you there, bro.
Okay.
Trying to get you there.
Yeah, we'll get you those
my brother's keeping. I don't want you there because you'll mess around and share a gold medal. I don't want you there.
Man, you better celebrate me if I can share a gold.
I'm talking about you, man. You're gonna share a gold medal. This ain't no what are we doing here?
It ain't over. Haiti has an undeveloped team. I'm gonna go try to find a way. They got an Olympic senior tour or no? It's just for the regular people.
Nah, man, it's all the same. Look,
we should start a handball team. I could go play handball tomorrow and win at least a bronze medal.
How do you?
It's dodgeball, man. It's gym class.
How do you ever not score in handball? The goalie doesn't even have a stick. They should give
it.
I mean, these people coming. How do you to stop that? If I'm running full,
you don't have to dribble. You could travel for like 3 weeks.
I think you had to get a couple dribbles, don't you?
Maybe like that's what the ref says. Like I think you need to get a couple dribbles. I don't know that you have to dribble.
So bad,
it's up to you. If you want to share the gold medal, if you want to dribble, whatever. Rules are rules.
You decide.
We were supposed to make up a new. We were supposed to make up a new Olympic sport. I don't know if y'all thought about what our homework was, but we got to think of an Olympic sport that would guarantee us a medal. What would it be? And it can't be like beer drinking. I thought about was like, nah, that's chugging a beer. Somebody probably already.
You don't think spades would be what something we could do? A spades tournament?
Spades, we could do spades. Dominoes.
No,
we could do dominoes.
The island people will destroy us in dominoes.
Yeah, man.
It's way bigger down there than it is here. We
got one on our team. Islands. You Haitian?
I'm telling you, but y'all gonna hold me back. I had to go get somebody else.
Right.
Olympic shit talking. Okay. Shout out.
I like that. That's an American sport right there. We get a dub.
Versus. We should do a versus.
A versus. Yeah. There we go. We got the music thing.
Reggaeton versus
fashion. We couldn't do that. France would kill us. France would kill us in fashion. Rap battles.
Rap battles with a cipher. We just get a cipher.
We could do a cipher. You know what I'm saying? We got that. What else can we get off on?
Take it back to like kids get like kicked the
breakdance. Are you crazy? The Asian community would kill us. They took that art and went all the way extreme with the art. We're not gonna win.
That'll be next Olympics. Breakdancing is in the next Olympics.
And we're not gonna win.
The whole skateboarding being in the Olympics. Y'all happy with that?
I think skateboarding's a real sport.
It's a legit sport.
Yeah, man. You could, first of all, you gotta be athletic. If you fall, you're gonna get hurt. talk about twisties. Like that's that's a lot of risks that you take in skateboarding. We
I
gotta
will
think
say
about it.
that
That's a homework
What I do
assignment.
like about it is the failure rate in skateboarding is so great that it's even that much more amazing. Because the skateboarders go out there, they fail like 80% of the tricks they try, right? That's the whole thing of it. So I do like the fact that you watch person after person, and no one lands it, then someone fucking lands something. You're like, oh, great, we get a score out of this. So that was pretty cool.
I at least mentioned our former U.S. president when I was talking about him saying China. Now I got to mention him again because he took a jab at what would probably be considered another disappointment. If we're being honest, our U.S. women's national soccer team has been unbeatable. Yet they finally lost, and they held on to win the bronze medal. And we've been celebrated dipped in bronze, right? We celebrated Allison Felix winning the bronze in the 400. We celebrated Simone Biles overcoming the odds and beating the twisties and getting a bronze medal in the balance beam. But here it is. Our former U.S. president is taking aim at the U.S. women's soccer team. And to be fair, it's because during the last election, Megan Rapinoe was very vocal saying, absolutely not. Hails to the no. After, I think it was the World Cup 2019, I ain't going to no White House with Trump in it. And she has been a part of the left political machine on social media feeds. So to be fair, but don't you think that should be out of bounds? As a former U.S. president, how are you going to take aim at somebody and make fun of them after they won a bronze medal for our country? And I haven't heard anyone call it unpatriotic. They just sort of like, it almost pays to be a buffoon and a jerk. Because then people just write it off as, that's just Trump being Trump. It's a president making fun of our U.S. women's soccer team who went over there to represent this country, who's obviously disappointed. But they didn't just pick up and leave when they knew they weren't going to win the gold. They kept playing. And he said the girl with the purple hair or the woman with the purple hair, didn't play well. First of all, he was wrong because while at tough moments in the U.S. Olympics, she scored 2 goals in the bronze match.
He didn't watch.
So I just thought it would be more of a dust up and a backlash, because how our president going to be making fun of Americans that went over there to represent America when I'm certain that he never played soccer. I'm not certain he never played soccer, but he never played soccer well. Not with that shape. How's that happen?
He's a golfer.
He's a golfer. I found it. Honestly, I found it offensive, man. I hope more people find it offensive because we gotta start calling it out, man. That's beyond jerk move. They're Americans representing America, and American president is in what he calls himself. And I know a lot of people say not my president, but the truth of the matter is that he was an American president, and impeached twice, but he was an American president. Some things should be out of bounds, true or not true, and we'll move on. What did y'all think about, first of all, our women getting beat, but then to getting beat, but also winning the bronze, and then to get that jab from a former U.S. president? I'll start with you, ETP.
I just find it impressive how committed he is to like his 4 statements and the contradiction of it, and it's unfortunate, right? These women obviously. They've been winning for years and years and years, and they just, they're falling from grace, or it's not their time. Other countries are getting into it, but it's just ridiculous to be, like you said, an American president, to be claiming that somebody's not patriotic, or because they're being unpatriotic and voicing their opinion and expressing their freedoms the way that everybody that fights for this country intends to afford everybody. And now they're being condemned by it. While they won a medal, they made their country proud, right? There's only 2 other countries that were able to do this year, and they're being condemned for it because they're too woke, and that's why they lost. They're focused on politics. But why? So if they shouldn't be focused on politics, you shouldn't be focused on sports.
He basically said, "Woke folks lose." I think that's what he said, something like that. Woke loses again, or something to that effect.
Woke means you lose.
Woke means you lose, and I find it pretty ironic as one of our listeners, what's up, Karen, says she suggests that an Olympic sport could be roasting the dozens, your mama jokes. I find his ability to jab people and troll people is pretty impressive. But not right now. Not right now, right? I mean, the dust didn't even settle on the bronze medal before he's making the woke folks lose. But in factually wrong. Actually, they didn't lose. They won that game and brought home a bronze. But narcissism at its finest, man. I'll give you the last word on it. If you want a big flow before we move on.
I just say, yeah, it's gross, you know what I mean? Because you're going to hear all these people talk about patriotism that like Trump, and they're fake patriots, is what I say. And they're this, that, and the other. But for him to come out there and speak against a team as a former president is so tacky. But every Trump fan out there will find a way to justify it and say that it's great. So hats off to the fake patriots out there that like Donald Trump.
At some point, though, don't you have to draw the line?
No,
here's my thing. Here's my thing.
He told you he could shoot a guy in the face and he wouldn't lose a fan. So he's magical.
Yeah, but there's people that I really, really like. Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan does something that is wrong, undeniably wrong, I'm like, nah, Mike, that you going too far. How you just gonna punch Steve Kerr in the grill? That's a little bit too far. That's too competitive. And I love me some Michael Jordan. But there's decency. Mm-hmm. You're telling me there's nothing that he can do. Like, to me, I'm like, a U.S. president is clowning our U.S. women's national soccer team as they are across the water in Japan representing the USA. How does that not considered? That's not out of bounds.
They don't care.
They don't care. All right. Well, our U.S. men's basketball team, who we thought was going to be in a position that the U.S. women's soccer team is, in the sense that there's parity now and everyone's catching up. We thought that they were, they were finally done. They've climbed themselves out of a hole. They're playing for the gold medal. They're playing France in a rematch. And our U.S. women's basketball team is whooping up on everybody. 2 gold medals in basketball. Are we going to come home with both goals and submit that we indeed are still the international, world-renowned basketball kings of the planet? What say y'all?
Yeah, we got to win it all.
You got it? All right.
Yeah,
no safe bets, though, man.
There's
no safe bets.
There's no way we lose.
They got a few NBA players on there.
KD said if they don't win the gold, that he's going to brush his hair. And we all know.
He ain't brushing his hair.
No way.
Yeah, that's
he ain't brushing his hair. All right. Man. Well, you mentioned ETP. What do you got? 2 gold medals. We coming home chunked up, 2 goals, or we going 1-1?
It's got to be, man. KD turned it on. He's starting to be who he said he was. Asia Wilson is a boss.
He looked good against Australia.
The women's team is looking excellent. Asia Wilson is my new favorite basketball player. She's a beast. But they're all in the way that the bigs are playing with the women, like interior passing. It's going to be fun to watch, but it's just interesting. It's going to be U.S. France probably on both sides. I'm sad they're not going to play Luka. I would have liked to see Thanos play the Avengers because Luka is a beast.
He's a beast. A triple-double and a loss, Luka.
But 13 points.
Yeah, he looked
18 assists.
18 assists. He out there looking real magic-like. But I'll go from there to what I think is the big topic of the week, and that's NBA free agency. And before we go, this is the first time, an hour into the show, I'm going to ask you humbly, please like, please comment, please share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anybody that you know, let them know it's all about the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. It ain't going to cost you nothing but a click of a share. It ain't going to cost you nothing but a click of a like. It ain't going to cost you nothing but typing in somebody's name and tag them. Support the show, y'all. A lot of work goes into this. So please like, please comment, please share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anybody that you know, and please subscribe in the podcast world. Now, with that being said, $2 billion was spent. Some of it on some has-beens. We going to put it out there. NBA free agency this week has me Completely determined. Although I'm a football coach, it's football season. My sons both play football. It has me determined every day we going out, we going to shoot that rock. Because a whole bunch of people got paid. Chris Paul got a 4-year extension. He's 137 years old.
Methuselah.
What do y'all think about NBA free agency? What are the biggest stories? I know we got a Chicago Bulls fan in here, so I saw a meme to say y'all gonna go from whatever y'all abysmal record was to 42-40 this year or something like that. And I thought that was funny because it took a shot at what is the bad news Bulls as opposed to the old school Bulls. Y'all sorry, man, but go ahead. I know you're gonna say something about the Bulls.
I mean, I think the Knicks, Bulls, they put something together. I mean, we got some players out there.
So you like that? You like Zoe?
Got some Olympic gold medalists gonna be on the team. Everybody doing something. Gonna sell some tickets. I'm glad that they made some moves. They tried to do a little something. I don't know if I'd have got Lamelo's brother over there, but he over here.
Damn,
I like Zoe.
Now he's Lamelo's brother. He had a few years in the league to be Lonzo. Now he's Lamelo's brother.
That's messed up.
Jello. We didn't get Jello. But I think the Lakers did a great job putting some stuff together.
They're the only other team that's 137 years old on average.
They just got this 1 year. They got no warranty left on the car.
Didn't we see this movie already though? When they tried to sign Karl Malone and Gary Payton, didn't we see this movie already? We know how this ends.
No, I think they got a chance. I think you're gonna have some humble people out there. They're gonna try, but they can't. They have no. I don't know who's gonna be on the bench. They got 4 people.
ETP. You hear that? He said, I think they have a chance. They all got a chance when they tip the ball. That's what you giving them a chance. I appreciate that, man.
They're 33 though. They're kind of old. Somebody liable to get hurt.
Crazy.
They got if AD can get tough, which I was
like if he could get that
how you get
that tough. What's that thing we used to use back in the day?
Yeah,
tough.
If he can get toughness, a quarter cup of toughness. And they'll put some respect on his name or something. I don't know. I think Lake Show 2000.
Lake Show.
So
to win it. I'm talking about the championship, the trophy.
at least a share of the title.
They're gonna share the
They're gonna go shake hands and say it's both of ours. So walk off.
Both of ours. Let's both. Hey, if anybody should do that, it should be them. On average, 137 years old, you should do that. But you realize they got to win 4 games in each one of those series to call themselves world champions.
Imagine
you know that, right?
Experience that they have
it's
on
past
their
their bedtime.
Nobody has more experience than them. Everybody.
I love how people try to flip and say experience. You're right. They also call that miles. Yeah, we ain't none of us looking when we were trying to find our other half, significant others. We weren't looking for women with a whole bunch of experience. We were looking for women that could treat us the way we wanted to be treated. The Lakers fans want to be treated to some good basketball. They don't care about no experience. What's your experience got to do with winning games?
They've been there before.
They've been there before.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna win it.
I'm gonna give y'all a hot take. So with all the injuries in the NBA, I think the Lakers could actually innovate and turn this into like hockey line changes and take out the whole team, put in your next line. And just load manage. They're all injury prone. They're all over 30, except for like 2 players. And they only got 3 players left on the team from last year. So they revamped their whole roster. You talk about an indictment on the roster. If
everybody got to go.
Everybody got to go. Y'all got to go, man. You ain't got to go home.
Bulls got Caruso too.
You got to get up out of here.
That. I like Caruso.
They got who?
The GOAT. Caruso, the GOAT.
You going with that, huh?
I rock with him. I like Caruso.
You like the headband and the ball head? I got it.
Caruso's that dude, the last dude picked at the park that bust your head and he never leave the court. I like Caruso.
Yeah, man.
There's a reason why he's the last one picked.
Bulls gonna be in the finals in the East.
The what? You ain't even say that with no conviction in your voice. He started.
I'm saying loud.
He forgot what it was. He's
right. You know this recorded.
He's gonna play. They're gonna play in the important games.
He said the Bulls gonna be right. What will the Bulls be? Let's get this on record.
Eastern Conference Finals. They're gonna go to and lose.
Write it down.
So they're going to attend it, or they're gonna play in it.
I think everybody gets tickets.
Right? Yeah, they're gonna get tickets. They're gonna go with Lamelo's brother.
I would ask you for all that.
Lamelo's brother got some connects.
Is Mark a Chicagoan?
Mark, man, he from my high school. He DJ my wedding. That's Mark.
So I think I'm taking Mark's first round exit prediction as opposed to you talking about they're gonna attend the Eastern Conference. Man, they ain't got no what? How?
They're going to put the ball in the little hole more times than the other team.
Fair.
And then
Fair.
they're going to get there. Watch.
Fair.
The Bulls going to be sweet.
I like what my Miami Heat did. You know, we got tougher. You talk about AD getting tougher. We got tougher. We got all the remaining goons. Does that still an okay term? You know, you gotta be careful.
You can still say that.
You say goons. They got all the remaining NBA goons are down there on South Beach. They gonna be on the weekends. They're gonna double as bouncers at the club. They are gonna be gooning down there, and you hear it here first on the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. The Miami Heat back. We going to the championship again. We gonna win the Eastern Conference and be in the championship again to prove that the bubble wasn't a fluke. And depending on who come out the West, we might win it all. Championship coming back to Miami, baby. South Beach 305. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Dipset.
What?
Most technical fouls, definitely championship in most technical fouls. But other than that, you guys might be joining the Bulls, sitting in the skybox, watching the NBA Finals.
The Eastern Conference Championship.
Were there any free agency moves that made you scratch your head? I already talked about the 4-year extension for CP3, who has 99 lives when it comes to his NBA career. But at some point, right? I know this is no safe bets, but the safest bet has been Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprises are the bags, like all the extensions. What's Steph Curry's making $54 million a year for the second time, over $50 million a year for the second time, second contract. They're not winning. They're not. Yeah, he earned it retro. He's the only athlete I've ever seen that gets paid for the work they already did, not the work they're gonna do. Like, he's gonna be like 36 years old, making $55 million a year. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's worse. I don't know which one's worse, the Chris Paul contract extension or the Steph Curry contract extension. I'd probably say Chris Paul is worse because he's older, and
not as good.
Neither one of them should be making that type of money right now. But it just shows how much money is in this league.
Pocket watch. You can't hold on.
You mentioned Caruso. Caruso got paid.
How much did they pay?
Yeah,
the Bulls have paid a lot of people. The Chicago likes to pay the wrong people. How much did they pay him?
I don't know exact number, but the figure when I first saw it made me throw up. On behalf of an old time, I used to be a Chicago.
Shout out to him playing for the Lakers. He got $50 million, I think, over 5 years. I was happy to see that.
Yeah, they're throwing some serious money around.
Yeah, man.
Was it Gilgeous Alexander at OKC? He got $100 million extension.
It's cats that didn't average double digits. They didn't have double figure average per game and got paid like superstars. Is that what the NBA has become now? We've got so much money.
Look at the draft. Lottery picks averaging under 10 points a game in college getting picked in the lottery because they think he's going to be good. I wish I could hoop.
Hey, man. Out there. ETP, Ellis, the producer, you talk about the technology, bro, you still can. You ain't going to get no shorter. You could do this, man.
Maybe I get some of those track shoes the dude ran in the 400 hurdle.
The track shoes, maybe you could play basketball in the track shoes, but as bad as you have assumed that the Haitian track team is, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Haitian basketball team is worse. You could make it, bro.
We all-time greats in that. Odin Holidays.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry's Haitian. He just made $50 million a year. Steph Curry. Google it. It's on the internet. Steph Curry Haitian.
Whenever that's your comeback, Google it. That just means that you probably posted
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's Haitian on his mom's sister's side.
On his mom's sister's side. Everybody Haitian. What you didn't know, or who you didn't know was Haitian.
We brush our hair in Haiti.
Who you didn't know was Haitian. Weekly Watch. Who would you say is somebody that they didn't know was Haitian, but they should know. Go ahead, Big Flo. Go ahead and make somebody. I mean, go ahead.
Everybody knows Naomi Osaka Haitian. Everybody knows Simone Biles is Haitian.
Those are real. I don't know Simone Biles. You said that, but
Google it. It's on the internet.
All right, so give me somebody that nobody would know.
I got one. Barack Obama,
Haitian.
On his
Any name like Barack gotta be Haitian.
On the white side though, on the white side.
Mom is from Haiti. I mean,
all right, y'all.
Luca.
You went with Luca. You gotta be Haitian. Name like Luca gotta be Haitian. You see how he passed that ball?
I don't know why. Is this? Do you guys work on a sports show? Everybody.
Yeah.
Our research team is just
research.
Impeccable.
We on it. All right, y'all. ETP, take us home, man. You get to decide final topics before we get on out of here for the week. The producers cut. Go with it. As many or as few as you like. You in control, my brother. What you got for me?
All right, we'll close it out with our classic, the weekly Lamelo Watch.
Hold on. I gotta do it. You know I gotta do it. Who? Lamelo, baby. Look at you about to hate. You know, he might be Haitian. You might want to check into that. Yo, you ain't gonna claim Lamelo. You gonna claim everybody else but Lamelo. Ain't you about so? What's up with Lamelo this week, man?
I think Lamelo's brother's Haitian, but not him. So
the one
Lamelo's been pretty active. So Kyrie Irving, we talked a little bit about last week, where Kyrie Irving was bashing Nike for their new Kyrie 8 shoe.
Yep.
Lamelo was on Instagram trying to recruit Kyrie Irving over to Puma.
Yeah.
So he's looking for some sneaker mates or business partners on the other side, but also on the business side of things, Lamelo actually is promoting. Speaking of Lamelo Watch, he's in partnership with the Hong Kong-based luxury jewelry brand.
Got money, young king.
It's called Memorigin, and he's making big business moves every week or so. You can see that entrepreneurial spirit coming out with his with his upbringing. And the other thing with that is when he was promoting the watch or the new partnership, he showed that he changed his number to number 1. And at the free agency period, there's been plenty of jokes that Lamelo got rid of Malik Monk just so that he could have the number 1.
Hey man, should have gave up that number, bro. Should have gave up that number. And look, Lamelo got his brother Jello signed. Jello mentioned
he's bringing Jordan trying to make him happy, baby.
He got signed, man. He got signed. Anything else in the producers? Anything else in producers cut?
Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's end it off with one. So Tyreek Hill of Kansas City, NFL player, arguably fastest in the league, challenged Usain Bolt, or said Usain Bolt could not beat him in a 40-yard dash because Usain Bolt is over the hill. Usain Bolt responded on social media and said he was ready. The question to you all is, could this actually happen? And the second question is, who do you think would actually win?
Stop playing with Usain Bolt, man. Stop. So no, he didn't say. What were his exact words in response?
So his exact word.
Usain Bolt's initial
say less.
Say less. Anytime somebody says "say less" to you, they have no problem with what you're proposing. They are so he is so comfortable with racing him. He would race him in Timberlands. Tyreek Hill, I get it, man. Like that, you're fast. Right, you're fast for like human standards. Usain Bolt would tear Tyreek Hill. It would not be funny, man, how bad he would beat him. He would wake up out of his sleep without warming up and tear Tyreek Hill up. Usain Bolt is different level. Y'all better stop messing with that man. He is not human. He's not human.
You think it'll happen?
No, I don't think that'll happen. No.
Why?
No.
Logan Paul might race him.
But I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs will allow that to happen because they understand what could happen to Tyreek Hill's hamstrings.
Yeah, maybe
there's
Lamar
a different
Jackson.
level speed.
And if he get beat the way I think he'll get beat, he might end up with the twisties.
Right. We'll go home on this, man, because on this episode of No Safe Bets, I will say this. the safest bet, because y'all know Ball Hawk Sports Talk is where sports, business, and entertainment collide. The safest bet is you got to be careful with your money. And we're going to go home on a pretty serious note. I'll get there by first a lighter note. Odell Beckham Jr., yeah, my Cleveland Browns wide receiver, spent all type of money, over $1 million on his veneers with some diamond-crusted something. And I know that's a thing on social media, to just show how you can flaunt money and throw it away. But there's going to be one day you're going to wish you had that money. You got to be smart about your money. A great example of it this week is an NHL player, Evander Kane. His wife went on social media and accused him of being a gambling addict, but went even further and said, NHL, he's betting on games and purposely losing them. So in addition to possibly losing his career, he had a great season last year because there's now an investigation being launched. The articles have talked about how he's in debt because of how he gambles. I leave on this note just to say, if you have a gambling problem, I'll make that disclaimer. Please get help. But in this episode of No Safe Bets, I encourage all athletes to be very smart with your money, because your career will end one day, and you'll look back on this opportunity and hope and wish, that you had made the most out of it and let your money make money for you. Wanted to end there and be responsible. Please encourage anybody that you know that has any gambling problems to get help. 1997, I lost all my money on a boat in Shreveport. We were down there for the Pole in the Weed Eater Bowl. I cashed my bowl check on that boat and went home with nothing. Needless to say, I had a bad week of practice. We got whooped in the game. But I remember that night I promised to the higher being that I believe in, if you get me out of this, I will never bet again. I haven't looked back since. Encourage anybody that you know has an issue to get help. But most importantly, for you young athletes, whether it be NBA free agency, the NHL, whatever sport, a lot of these Olympic athletes are going to have a windfall of cash because this is their moment. Make sure that you make the most of it. Get with a financial advisor. Be smart about your money. You have generational wealth being afforded to you. You have a responsibility to the generation behind you. Your kids, your kids' kids, and even your kids' kids' kids could benefit from a gift because a lot of the abilities are God-given gifts. Make sure you make the most of them. That's how we change what the outlook of our future looks like. I go home on that note because I am very personal. It is very personal to me to see some of the people that end up broke. This has been the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy B Brown ESQ, aka the Ball Hawk, aka the Mountain South, aka Mr. Excessive Celebration. I'm asking you, please kindly like, comment, and share. Tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anybody that you know. Please subscribe in the podcast world. We'll be back next week with some sports, business, entertainment coming to you rough, rugged, and raw, because that's the only way we do. We is out. Peace.